Good morning, guys. My name is Sharvinder. I want to explain about step 1. Subnet the 192.168.10.0-24 by 8 group. So 2 power of 3 equal to 8. To get new prefix, 24 plus 3 equal to 27. So the new network address is 192.168.10.0-27. After that, the subnet mask is 255.255.255.224 and the usable host is 30. Then 2 power of 5 equal to 32. 32 is the host range. To get the network address for subnet 0 plus 1, for example, 192.168.10.0 plus 1 and plus 32 plus 192.168.10.1 to get first usable host address and plus 32 to get last usable host address. Do the same for all the subnet number. For step 5, I am Sharvin again. Copy the IP address from the subnetting table. The network address from subnetting table is the IP address for the 4.3 table and then copy the default gateway from the subnetting table. The subnet mask for all the device is the same, which is 255.255.255.224. Thank you.
A very good day, Madam Faiza. I am Krishna here, and my number metric is 25 TDT20F1123, and my other group mates are Ashraf and Sarvindaran. So today I'm going to present problem-based task 1 for subject introduction to network. So I'm going to start the presentation by presenting step 2 and step 3 and also step 4 until 4.2, and my group mates will present the rest of them. Okay, so the question for problem based task 1 is, we have to build a small network with an appropriate network devices for a given situation. So here we are given a situation, and the situation is, Inche Kamal has asked our company to design and install a network for a Soho, which means small office, home office they are moving into. He has one router and he want to separate the network for his own office, his wife office, his sunroom, and for wireless connection. The wireless network is using for laptop and smartphone. The network address is 192.168.10.1 and the prefix is 24, and we need to subnet the network by 8 group, and we are also required to fulfill the table 1 that is been given. So this is the table 1 and it has been fulfilled. So now we can go to step 2. Step 2 is set up network topology on packet tracer. Sketch the network topology based on scenario and all the required resource given. So the resources are one router, and the router type is PTMT, and it need to add for PT router NM1C interface port. And then for switches, the type is 2960, one wireless router, and its type is WRT300N, and then 3 personal computer, and then 1 laptop, and it is need to change Ethernet port to wireless card, and then 1 smartphone. So now we will build the network by using Cisco Packet Tracer. So for that, I opened Cisco Packet Tracer. So just like the required, we're going to insert a router, and the router type is PTMT. So I'm going to place it in the middle, and just like they want us to do, we have to add PT router and M1CGE interface port. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so here I have to zoom in, then I have to go all the way at the end, and I need to switch off the device before making any changes. So already switched off. After switched off, I have to select PT router NM1CGE, just like they asked. So and then I need to add it in 4 places. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, and then I have to switch on the router back. So okay, switched on, and then done. And then we are required to insert 4 switches, and the type is 2960, and I will do that now. So let's go to switches 2960. So I'm gonna place it one here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we have to install one wireless router. Okay, we will do that now. Okay, I have to go to wireless devices, and then choose WRT300N. Then I'm gonna place it here. Here will be better. Okay, and then we are asked to add 3 personal computers. Okay, 3 personal computers at each switches. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 PC. Okay, we have done that, and then we are asked to insert one laptop, and need to change Ethernet port to wireless card. And as the scenario says, the wireless network is using for laptop and smartphone, so it's going to use the wireless router. So I'm going to place the laptop near to the wireless router. So laptop, then I put it here, and then I have to click on it, and then I have to zoom in, and then switch off the device first. Okay, and then take this off, and then take this one off. Okay, and then we have to insert WPC 300N. Okay, and then switch back on the laptop. Okay, and then done. Okay, and then we have to insert one smartphone. Okay, smartphone. Okay, one smartphone. I'm gonna put it here. Okay. Okay, now we have to connect all these devices. Okay, for that we have to use a suitable connection. Okay, so for that I'm going to use copper straight through cable. Okay, click on it. Okay, click on PC 0. I'm gonna pick fast Ethernet 0, then I'm gonna put it in switch, and then I'm going to choose fast Ethernet 0/2. Okay, and then here the same thing, fast Ethernet 0. Here I'm going to choose fast Ethernet 0/1. Okay, and then for here I'm going to choose fast Ethernet 0/1, and then here I'm going to choose fast Ethernet 0. Okay, we can bring this a little bit here. Okay, and then for switch 3 and wireless router I'm going to pick the same cable, and then I'm gonna pick fast Ethernet 02. Then I'm gonna connect the wireless router with uh, Ethernet 2. Okay, and then now we're going to connect all these switches and PCs with router. For that we're going to use the same cable, which is copper straight through cable. Okay, I'm going to choose fast Ethernet 01, and then connect the router with Gigabyte Ethernet 00. Okay, and then for switch 1, fast Ethernet 02, then connect with router with Gigabyte Ethernet 10. Okay, and then switch to, I'm going to pick fast Ethernet 2, and then connect with Gigabyte Ethernet 2/0, and then lastly switch 3. I'm gonna pick fast Ethernet 01, and then I'm gonna connect with the router with Gigabyte Ethernet 30. Okay, now we are connected all the devices to the router. So now I'm going to change the names of these devices as per required. So this PC should be the husband's one. This PC is PC wife. This switch is husband's one, and this switch is for wife's PC. Okay, and then the router, we're gonna rename the router as home router. Okay, and then for this switch, this is the son's PC switch. So son, and then this PC belongs to their son. Okay, and then this switch is called the wireless switch because it is connected to wireless router. And then this router is called wireless router. We just have to delete the 0. And here it's the same thing. We just have to delete the 0. Delete the 0. Okay. Okay, now we have connected all the devices and also renamed all the devices as well. So now we are done with step 2. We are done. Step 2 is done. Now we are going to do step 3, and step 3.1 is configure switch. A. Set host name. S. Switch husband, switch wife, switch son, and switch wireless. And we are also asked to, okay, we're going to do A first. So let's click on switch husband, go to CLI, and then click enter, click EN. So now we're going to enter config terminal, and then we're going to set the host name SW husband, then we're going to exit. Done. Okay, going to set the host name for switch wife. Okay, we're doing the same thing. EN config t host name SW wife, and then exit. We're repeating the same thing to all the switches. En config t host name SW son, son, then exit. Okay, and lastly for the wireless router, let's go to CLI, enter, click type EN, type config t. Config t means config terminal. Config t is the short form for config terminal. And then set the host name as SW switch wireless, then exit. Okay, done. Now we are done with step 3.1a. Now we are going to do B, which is set password for user mode class, and then we're going to continue with C, which is set password for privileged mode Cisco. D is set password for remote telnet Cisco. E is encrypt all plain text password, and then F is add banner. So I'm going to show that. So these are for the switches. So we're going to do this for switch S1 first. Again, we're going to CLI. It's already in EN. So now we're going to enter config T, and then we're going to enter line console 0 password class, gonna give login, and then we're going to type out as exit, and then we need to enable secret Cisco. Okay, and then we're gonna type exit, and then done. That is B and C. Now we're going to do D. D is we're going to type config D again, and then we're going to type line VTY 015, and then we're going to type in password. Password is Cisco, so password Cisco, and then login, and then we are done with D, which is set password for remote telnet. Now we're going to do E, which is encrypt all plain text password, and for that I have to type service password, service password encryption. Okay, and then we're going to exit. Okay, done. That one is for E, so E is done. Now we're going to do F. F is to add banner. So for that we're going to go back, type back config T, and then we're going to type banner motd, and then this is a secure system authorized access only. Okay, this is the banner for switch husband. So okay, and then we're going to exit. Okay, so this is it. We are done with F as well. So this is 3.1. We're going to do the same thing for another switch, and then we're going to do 3.2. I'm going to give another example for another switch. Okay, we can close switch S1 first. Okay, okay, we're clicked on switch wife, and then we clicked on CLI. Now we're going to type config t, and then we're going to type line console 0, and then we're going to type the password. Password is class, and then login command, and then exit command. Okay, and then we're going to enable secret Cisco, and then we're going to exit. Okay, and then we're going to enter config key again. We're going to type in line PTY 015. We're going to type in the password is Cisco again, and then we're going to give login command. Then we're going to give we're going to encrypt. So for that we're going to type in service password encryption. Okay, and then we're going to exit. So that's it, and then we have one more thing to do, and that is to add banner. And for that we're going back to config t, and then we're going to type banner motd, and then the message is this is a secure system authorized access only. Okay, and then we're going to exit again. Okay, done. Now we're going to exit again. So now when we want to re-enter a CLI, we want to re-enter, they will actually ask us to enter the password. So the password is just like we have done. The password is class. So, and then we have to enter en, and then we have to give another password which is Cisco, then done. Now we entered CLI, so now we can give any other commands if we want to. And also the banner MO3 is a message before we access the switch. So this is the message, this is the secure system, authorized access only. So this is it. So that's my two examples on 3.1. Okay, now we're going to do 3.2, which is config. We have to repeat the same thing for switch sun and switch wireless. I gave two examples for two example, which is for switch husband and switch wife. So after I done that, I have to go to step 3.2, that is configure router. For that, we have to click on router, go to CLI, and then enter. They ask, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? We just have to give no command, and then enter again, and then give en, and then enter config t. Then now we have to give the host name. The host name is home router. Okay, home router. Then and then we are asked to set password for user mode class. So we're going to do that. Okay, so for that we have to give line console class. Yep, class. Sorry, line console 0, and then we have to enter password class, and then login command, and then we have to do C, which is set password for privileged mode, and that is Cisco. So for that we have to exit first, and then we have to enable secret Cisco. Okay, and then we have to exit. Okay, now we have to do C, which is set password for privileged mode, just like we did in switches. So we are going to do the same thing here, which is okay, enter config t line PBT 015, and then password Cisco. Then you have to give login command, and then we have to encrypt the password. Okay, so that for that we have to enter service password encryption. Then we just have to exit, and then we are done with step 3.2. And then we have to save configuration as well. We have to save configuration for both step 3.1 and 3.2. So now I will show that. So I'm going to show a switch. Okay, to save the configuration we have to type this, which is copy running config startup config, and then we just have to enter again, and then done. We already save our configuration. So we're going to do the same thing for router as well. So for router, I'm going to type the same thing, which is copy running config, and then startup config, and then just enter, and then we are done. Save our configuration as well. So yeah, so that's it from me, madam. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Asra bin Hasbullah. I am from DDT 2D. My metric number is 25 DDT 20 F1108. I will show you how step 5 assign IP address to device and verify a connectivity. Configure IP address on router line interface. First, set interface IP address to G0/0, G1/0, G2/0, G3/0. Second, set a description for interface. Okay, first we go to the home. On the home router, this is a step to enable a configure in the program. First of all, we go to enable. Second, we go to a configure terminal. Third, we go to interface configure gigabyte internal 0/0 based on the giga 0/0. Fourth, we put the IP address based on the table 3. We put the 192.198.10.1. Next, you put the subnet mask based on the table. You can see the home router is 192.10.1. You can see in the interface G0/0, and you can put the IP address for an subnet mask. This is the description that I put. The description is disconnected to the line. After that, you can put the exit sign to exit the program, and to show the running configure, you can put the show running configuration. After that, we can see the interface gigabyte 0/0 description. This is connected to line. IP address, the IP interface 0/0, and IP address is the same with the G0/0 and subnet mask. Okay, for the another step is the same. You can change to the 0/0 to into the 1/0. In the table, you can see you can put the IP address and subnet mask in the command line interface home router. This is the input that we will get. Okay, for a B, configure address on all switch. Okay, we go to example switch husband. On that, we go to a configure terminal. Next step is set IP address to the switch. We see in the table that we put the IP address that switch husband, and we put a subnet mask. Next is we put a no shutdown command. Next, we put the IP default gateway, because the question mentioned IP address gateway. We can see in the table that show the switch husband IP address and default gateway. We put the default gateway. For another switch, we continue to the same step that I teach you. For the wife, husband, son and wireless. Okay, we proceed to the next step, configure wireless router. Okay, we go to we put the IP address, and we put a subnet mask. Another, we have to save to the configuration, and next step is go to the wireless and put the name network, for example PBT Wi-Fi, and authorize WEP password is go to the wireless security and put the password. After that, you save the setting. Step D, configure IP address on host. First, set the static IP address including the default gateway to all PC, name to the PC, PC husband, PC wife, PC son. Second, static the IP address including the default gateway to laptop and smartphone. Okay, first step, we go to the PC husband. After that, we go to the desktop and click the IP configuration and put the IP address, subnet mask and default gateway based on the table given. For example, PC husband, you put the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. After that, PC for the another is the same step for the PC wife and PC sign. For a set a IP address including default gateway to laptop and smartphone. For example, for a laptop, we click the laptop, we go to the IP configuration. Based on the table, this is a laptop IP address, and we put the IP address on the laptop. Okay, if the same with the smartphone, connected the smartphone with the wireless router. You can see in the wireless router have a connected to the mobile and the laptop. Okay, we go to the next step, verify connectivity based on the table 3. Number 1, PC husband to the PC wife. We go to the PC husband and go to the command prompt, and we put the pin address for the PC wife. We wait a minute, and the process was success. But if you want to make sure the send for and receive for, you can type for another to make sure that no loss of the sign in the comment section. A second PC wife to a PC sign. Okay, we go to click a PC sign, we go to the command prompt and put the pin for a PC sign. Okay, we wait for a minute. Okay, we proceed with a same pin. Okay, next we proceed with fourth PC wife to Swiss sign. Okay, we click a PC wife and put a pin address for Swiss sign. Based on the table. Okay, wait for a minute. Okay, we can try a same for confirmation. Put the pin for a Swiss sign. Okay, we proceed with a fourth step is PC sign to Swiss husband. Okay, we click the PC sign and go to a command prompt and put a pin for a Swiss pin address for a Swiss husband based on the table. We do a same for confirmation. Put a pin Swiss husband. Okay, that was success. Okay, we proceed with 5 smartphone to a laptop. Okay, we go to the mobile smartphone and go to the command prompt and put the IP address for a laptop. Okay, we wait for a minute. Okay, the program is success, and we go to the laptop to a Swiss wireless. First of all, we go to the laptop and click a command and put the IP address for a Swiss wireless. We wait for a minute, and the connectivity was success. we go to the number 7, laptop to home router. We click the laptop and click a pin for a home router. You can choose the interface. Example, I choose G interface G0/0, and I put the IP address for the home router G0/0. Okay, that was connectivity was success. You also can put the another interface for them from the home router. That's all for me. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and thank you for watching.